What are you guys talking about up here?
Where I'm talking about this podcast. I know the hosts. Welcome to You Do, a podcast where we explore everything queer, Asian, and identity and get into everything that you do.
I'm your host, Vince Buendicho.
And I'm Matt Vo.
Oh my god, welcome back again.
Welcome back again. It's
It has
okay.
been a
So,
long
true
time.
transparency, we are recording this like way early because I have some upcoming trips. And so we're kind of doing this back to back with our last
Yeah.
guest, Delane. Uh, we just got such a great response from Delane's episode, and if you've listened to it, you know how inspiring he is, and people in the office or people have been messaging me saying just like his story and about his dad has been
Yeah.
really inspiring, and he's kind of inspired me a lot this week as well, just like switching my mentality of just being out in the world and flirting with the world. So I would encourage everyone who's listened, thank you so much for listening, but also like feel free to share it with family and friends who might need to hear something that will get them through the week. So I would encourage you to share it.
Yeah, and I think like especially for me too, hearing that episode and hearing Delane speak his truth and just authentically just be himself has
Yeah.
also been just like so inspiring. And I think I mentioned it last week where I was just like, wow, like your views and everything is just so positive that going into like this week and how everything is just transpired, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna keep this Delane mentality going because
Yes.
it's like the only way to go during whatever is like gonna happen in my life. But
Exactly.
just like every other week or every episode, we always start with how do you do. So Matt, how do you do this week?
If you live in LA or live in the States, you've just been hearing about a lot of the ICE arrests.
Yeah.
And as I am an immigrant here, even though I'm on a work visa, I'm legal to be here.
Hmm.
There is this underlying fear that, they could show up at my door, they could show up at my workplace for whatever reason. It doesn't even matter. I'm a person of color
Mhm.
in this sort of society, and so I don't know. It's a little scary to think about um, my future here and the presidency that is currently in place, and I am just really trying to take care of my mental health,
Yeah.
um, and just seeking people who kind of understand my perspective, like as well, and just reading facts and rights to be prepared for that if there is any of that to come. So like knowing my rights to remain silent and having a
Mhm.
lawyer and stuff like that. So just like being smart about it.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I think my coworkers have been very supportive and just checking in on me to see if I'm doing okay. Like literally the other day in the office, I know some coworkers had to leave work at like midday because they knew a demonstration was happening. I mean, it
Right.
was peaceful, but at the same time,
You never know what's gonna happen.
exactly. It's always a little bit. I'm being cautious this week.
Right.
But apart from that, again, like Delane has just inspired me so much in our last episode to.
Yeah.
I've been off the apps a little bit this week, more so than usual. Just I'm enjoying the longer days and seeing friends and family. I have a few trips coming up at the end of June. So if anyone is listening from New York, please
Oh,
hit me up.
oh my god, I'm so
Let's
jealous.
do New York Pride. Let's go to the raves and the underground bars, all that stuff. I love New York so much. So I'm really, really excited for my trip.
Oh,
Um
it's
but
amazing.
yeah. How do you do, Vince? What's been going
Um,
on?
what's been going on with me? I'm really glad that like you're safe,
Thank you.
um, and that you're taking care of yourself. But speaking of taking care of yourself, I feel like I have not been doing that for
Oh,
for my own self. Just because of the this like summers here, so I feel like my body just reacted viscerally to it, and I just wanted to do everything. But
You're
at the
like
same
you're
time, I am
overdoing.
overexerting myself. I'm like getting injured left, right, and center, and it's like a good, good reminder to kind of just slow down a bit for accept things that are like happening around you and like smell the roses, and take in like as much of the scenery as possible. I was in dance the other day and I was just sitting there in the park and I was like, this is why I moved. this is this
Yeah,
is like amazing. This is great. Like it's slow pace, but why am I rushing? And I don't know where that's coming from. I think a lot of it is like I just want results as quickly as possible.
yeah. I get it. You're like
Yeah.
wanting to do everything and anything, and
And anyone, I'm just kidding.
well, we know that.
Happy Pride. No.
Happy Pride.
um
I am open.
literally, but I actually have a confession to make too. I recently spoke to my ex, and I know that it's not supposed to be allowed. I get it, but I think I just wanted peace, um,
Yeah,
for myself, but also just like for the whole situation, for everyone to kind of move on. Um, but it was very like amicable. I was holding onto that message for a long time,
yeah,
and I just really needed to be like, you know what, like with all the things that's happening around the world, people are like not in a position to be as privileged as I am. And here I am just being like, oh, woe is me. And I'm just like, this is like nothing. Kind of just a gentle reminder to be like, there's a bigger world out there and my issues. And I'm not invalidating my issues. It's more just like, this is not going to be the death of me.
yeah. I'm so proud of you. That's
Thank
a
you.
hard thing to do, just
Yeah.
like letting go
Yeah.
of an ex, I mean, you guys dated, for a
Yeah.
year and
In a bit.
a bit. Okay, okay. 385 days. It is
uh,
hard. I can't
yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't even get over a situationship. That's my reality, but
Yeah.
you're much braver than
Yeah.
me.
It's okay. It's fine. But speaking of
Okay, I'm
like,
okay.
it's okay. I'm okay. Oh, can't wait to see her. Anyway, speaking of pride and speaking of like, train wreck relationship. I'm kidding.
Oh.
um, relationships and just like celebrating your life authentically and fully. Our next guest, I think, really embodies that. I've only known this person, who I'm going to introduce very soon, for just a year, but I feel like I've gotten to know them for who they are, which is like this amazing, very generous person, and just a true sister, as you may. Like, you know how we always talk about it's so hard to find gay friends here, or just in
Yeah.
general. I feel like I really found a good one with 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 this person. So, without further ado, please welcome Will Chen to
You
UT.
do?
Did you like that?
Oh, I like the most of it except the tram record situationships.
It wasn't.
How dare you? Yeah,
It, it wasn't.
how dare you?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you're gonna be punished
I
really
know.
hard things.
Oh.
Oh.
Not the way you like though.
Oh. Well, then I'm not going to Richmond tonight. But yeah, this is Will, everyone. Welcome
Hi,
to
everyone. Hi,
everyone,
Will.
to all our fans.
Hello, everyone. The audience of You Do. I hope you
Yes.
enjoyed the past 11 episodes as much as I did. Vince is gonna tell you that's a lie, but it is not. Okay, so I did
He
Oh.
enjoy it
listens
a
to them
lot.
every week.
But yeah, it's very nice and such honor to be here. As Vince told me that I will be the closing guest for Pride Month.
Yes, you're the encore.
Yeah, you're our last float for our parade.
Yeah,
What can I say? You know how to save the best to the last.
Okay, all right,
exactly.
Queen. But before we get into it, how do you do this week, Will? What's been going on?
Well, yeah, I had good and bad days for sure. But most of the part I would say is still pretty positive. I'm trying to be as optimistic and as active as I could, even though I haven't been to the gym once this week. But yeah, tomorrow we have a big day among our friends group, and I really look forward to that. So hopefully, however my week has been, after tomorrow will be better.
And in those situations, how do you think you kind of like, I guess, navigate how to come back down from like such a low? How do you think you in the future, like how can you combat that like mentality to be like, I just want to be a potato for this week?
Yeah, I mean, you know me, this year I just like to keep my schedule busy. I start to book things 1 week ahead. So almost, even though this week I've been feeling pretty low, but I have a busy schedule. I have things that almost force me to go out every day, every night. And even for the weekend, we were supposed to go to a beautiful lake for hiking, and like things happened. They closed the park for some maintenance. Yeah, it's Joffrey Lake. It's beautiful.
I love that place.
Yeah. Oh, you've been?
Yeah, Vince took me when he first moved to Vancouver.
Yeah, it was like the third day, or no, like the first week of me being here. Matt visited immediately, and I was like, "Who are you?"
Yeah, I mean, we took some great photos at Jeffrey Lakes, and I have to attest that I updated his Hinge profile with Jeffrey Lakes photos, and he had his first boyfriend. So
I did, yeah.
So the credit of that sad story goes to Joffrey Lake then.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, so we were supposed to go to Joffrey Lake this weekend, and it's cancelled. And I just feel like immediately I need to have a backup plan. I cannot just stay home on Saturday all by myself. Like I knew I'm not at the best mind status this week, so I definitely want to go out and be around my friends, the people I love.
Are you a big planner, Will? Like, do you have? Is your schedule like to the T?
Yes.
Yeah.
You should see our group chat.
Yeah. You see how he's talking right now. Yeah. So I like to plan things ahead. I used to be a tour leader for 5 years. So that experience kind of forced me to make plans ahead. And also for situations like, oh, this is closed, this has to be canceled, then what do we do next? All those kind of situations I have to deal with at the very front line. So I've always been a planner, and also somebody who I would say quite good with problem solving with unexpected situations.
Yeah.
Can you talk about, I guess, your desire to do tour, like being a tour guide, and is that back in China?
Yeah. So when I first graduated from university with my bachelor degree in law, I knew that I wasted 4 years in university because I absolutely hated that major. I did not enjoy the classes. I did not want to become a lawyer, especially, so we are getting to the serious topic already, right? Jumped in pretty quick. So I'm fully aware today, whatever I'm going to say here, there's a slight, very small chance that whatever happened, this episode got so popular and some Chinese people saw it and they took a clip out of it and say, look, here's another Chinese person living in another country talking shit about the government, the country situation, and the politics and everything. I'm fully aware of the risk, but I still, as I told Vince, that I just feel like it is what I need to do to face the consequence of speaking out for what I've been through and my ideas, my thoughts, and also I don't want to make it sound like so glory or so great of what I'm gonna say here today. My love towards my own country. You love it for the best, so you kind of want to see a change, you know? So you love it for the best and you speak about the things that you don't think is good enough.
Yeah.
Going back to the motivation about why I became a tour leader, I did not want to become a lawyer back in China because I had no faith in the legal system. It was just a game for the powerful people. It was just a game for the government, however they want to manipulate with it. I would never feel that I would have the power to seek justice for anyone.
Yeah.
if the other side of the people on the court is more powerful than
Yeah.
my client
Yeah.
as a lawyer. So never wanted to be in that position because I did not believe anything good is going to come out of it. So when I graduated from university with my bachelor degree in law, I just wanted to see the world. I just wanted to see the world, to go outside of my own country, to explore the rest of the world, and to open my eyes to see difference, and to find out if there is another possibility waiting for me. So I got into tourism industry because that was the only industry that can allow me to do that with my very limited financial resources. Like graduating from university had nothing, so and you can't risk it just to pack a backpack and hop on the one international flight and then hope that you can get a local job and then start to travel with enough funds. That's just impossible. And also, with my blank passport, it's almost impossible for me to get any good visa for any safe enough country for me to travel. So I got into tourism industry. I got my English tour guide license. I got my international tour leader license. And then I was hired by a lot of travel agency companies back in China, Beijing, the capital city. And I was leading the Chinese tour groups to travel around the world to make sure they get passed through the international airport and arrive with at the destination airport and get greeted and everything. So
it's such a different industry. Like you had graduated law, like you didn't even stop midway. You finished law, and then you decided to switch careers at that point. Can you talk about like what like went through your head at that time, finishing such a prestigious sort of degree and switching to something that's totally different? Like, did you have any fear around going into a totally different industry?
Yeah, I guess I was 22 and I was so young and dumb and courageous without any reason, you know, like you just never thought, okay, what if I fail? Then would I be wasting too many years? No, you just, I don't want to. I don't think I will ever become a lawyer in China. But I want to do this. I want to do the traveling. I want to go out to see the world. When I was in middle school, my mom and my sister always make fun of me, saying like in China, in Mandarin, we have something called the moon in the foreign countries is fuller.
The moon in the foreign countries? Oh.
It's fuller.
Yeah, it's like, it's a better shape. It's wrong. It's like, you know, the moon is a circle, right?
Yeah,
the moon in the foreign country, you can say, okay, let's say it another way. The moon in the foreign country is upright.
Yeah.
So you get like the grass on the other side is greener. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's what my mom and my sister used to say to me all the time, as like sarcastic.
Yeah.
And to say that basically, even before I realized, they kind of feel that I wanted to go to a foreign country. I wanted to go get out of China to explore the other possibilities in another country. When I graduated from school, I just like, oh, now is the time for me to do this. Also because I discovered my sexuality during university time, and seeing all the reactions from people around me and knowing the situation in my hometown, I knew that at least I need to go to a big city. So I went to the capital city in China, Beijing, and it kind of like also pushed me, say, okay, you might have to immigrate to another country one day. So I jumped into a tourism industry to be able to physically go outside and to explore the situations in other countries, and like what kind of life they are living every day. What is the possibility for me?
You like briefly touch on the fact that you know, when you were doing law, that there's a lot of social injustice that's already happening within your hometown, or just if whoever you need to represent. And then I think, do you think that like mentality slash things that are happening around you when you discover your sexuality. Is that kind of the driver for you to be like, there's a life outside of this that I know that I deserve, or that I know that is better for me?
Nowadays, when I going into Chinese, video websites, the apps, like I use an app called Bilibili, so that's my main resource of information. It's like a Chinese version of YouTube, you can say. So, and sometimes I read the comments. I read the comment section, and I see people talk. The other day, I think it was yesterday, I just read somebody saying, "Oh, the American TV shows, the Hollywood movies are all tools for the Western world trying to spread their values, to brainwash the rest of the world, to make sure that the rest of the world has a similar mindset as they are." And especially like when it comes to the LGBT lifestyle, they use this kind of TV show to brainwash the younger people in other countries that this is okay, while it is not. And this is the kind of comments I've been seeing more and more often every day on Chinese video website. It's just so sad that because I remember even when I was back in China 10, 12 years ago in university, people were more sensible and calm when it comes to this kind of topic.
Yeah.
They are really to communicate. They are really to communicate before making any judgment. But nowadays, even the younger generation, they're going to two extreme directions.
So that's changed.
I want to say that when I was in high school, in university, I was lucky enough to get in touch with two life-changing TV shows. I was a huge nerd, so I watched a lot of TV shows. There was one called Brothers and Sisters. In that TV show, there's a gay character. It's like one of the children from the family, Walker's family, Kevin. And through Kevin, he had his personal storyline about how he met his partner, how they go through dating and then stop dating different people, come back again, and then get married, eventually adopt, try to get surrogacy, it didn't work. And then one of the partner cheated, and they reconciled and they get back together. Watching that TV show gave me the courage, gave me the faith that there isn't other possibility out there. There is a chance for me to build my own family, to build my own life, to live like everyone else who has a beautiful family. But I knew it's impossible for me to do that in China.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not everything is possible, but it's gonna be extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. And also because my own family background, I come from a very conservative small town. My parents, they probably did not have any idea about the concept of homosexual until one of the most famous pop star, Leslie Chang from Hong Kong, committed suicide in early 2000, April 1st, April Fool's Day. That guy is so popular, so famous. So when he died, people paid attention to how his life was like. So he committed suicide because of depression, but he had a homosexual partner. And the only experience of me talking about the topic homosexuality with my own father in my entire life was just one time. We were talking about him, the pop star, and my father made a comment saying he's a pervert. That's the only time in my entire life talking about homosexuality with my own father. And ever since that day, I just knew, nope, there's going to be a lot of drama that I have to deal with if I decide to stay in China, and I want to find my own partner and build my own family in China.
Yeah. First of all, well, that is so brave of you.
Yeah.
Like, stories like this is why Vince and I are doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I know like the early 20s is sometimes like this thing just clicks in you. Like for me and Vince, like we moved over here in our 20s, and oh my god, now that we're 30. but it is that moment where you're
Yeah.
like, I have to choose me. I have to choose
Yeah.
myself, because I'm gonna be living my own life, and that's like all I have is myself. So
Yeah.
that's super brave of you. Can I ask, like, what you think has to change in China to feel more accepted? I know that you're saying that it's kind of being a lot more polarized in society, in Chinese society right now, but is there a way you think that could change in the future?
Especially when it comes to the situation back in my own
Mhm.
home country, and like I said, the polarized opinions among the internet, it just gives me depression every single day. When I open the comment section, I just feel like whatever the government was trying to do, like whatever method they used to educate the younger generation people, they are having a great success. Ironically, I have to applause for them. And asking me, how do I see that I can, like, what do I suggest? What kind of things that we can do to make a positive change? Very unfortunately, I don't have an answer for you.
Mhm.
Every
Mm,
single day, I'm just very glad and grateful that I made the choice. I made the choice for
Yeah.
myself at the right time to be here,
yeah.
and I'm successfully immigrated.
I know that there might not be something that you could say that might change with China's acceptance of us, but I think just you showcasing yourself, sharing your story, I think is a step forward into other gay Asian kids to know that there's a
It,
possibility,
Or
right? Or any,
any gay kid that is in a society where it's not accepted.
yeah,
You know, like, there's territories in America, there's territories in Australia that is
yeah,
very,
that
very conservative, and
exactly.
this is a story where I feel like can apply to any queer kid.
I think, yeah, that's one of the main reasons that I mean, I rejected Vince once when he first proposed to me and say, "Hey,
Rude.
do you want to be the guest?" And I was like, you know what, I wish I could, but I still decided to do this episode because if by any chance whatever I'm saying today, whatever I'm sharing today can give another kid, another struggling person a little bit more confidence about there could be a possibility for me to
Mhm.
live as myself out there in another place, in a safer space.
Yeah,
There could be a possibility for me to be able to pursue the kind of life, the kind of family I want to have for myself.
absolutely.
Then that is the whole meaning of me doing this episode.
I think, yeah, it's really touching, actually. Just because I feel like if I had this platform or a guest like yourself way back, not that my situation back then was severe, but it would have definitely urged me a bit more to be more courageous. Like I've known you for like a year now, and when I heard your story the first time, it still baffles me that I myself had a really good coming out story, but for someone who was at the time you were very positive, and then I gotten to know you. I don't think you're that depressing. I think you're just, like all of us are dealing with things that are still unresolved and still needs time to heal, and that's totally
Mm.
fine. We're human beings. We're supposed to be flawed. We're not perfect.
It,
We're not all going to be happy rainbows all the time, even though it's Pride.
it,
I think,
well, I am
yeah,
actively doing counseling right now. I'm
that's
actively
great.
Oh,
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
doing therapy. For a long, long time, I just thought I'm living for my mother.
Hmm.
I'm still
Mm.
alive for my mother because if I can choose, I never wanted to be born to go through whatever I had to go through. But I could never put my mom into the kind of sadness of me choosing to finish my life or whatever. So I still need to leave every day and call her every few days. Now, even though I'm far, far away from the other side of Pacific Ocean, to let her know that I'm doing okay. So for a long, long time, I was living in that mindset for my mom. Starting this year and doing the counseling, doing the therapy, I finally start to learn how to live for myself and for my own happiness and find a way to keep myself happy. It kind of also feels like during the journey of immigrating to another country and finishing school, find a full-time job and apply for permanent residence, all those process, I lost it. I lost the original motivation of why I came all the way to another country, which was to look for the possibilities of life and find a way to build my own family. I kind of lost that motivation. It was almost getting to a point that I need to stay here because I cannot go back. I gave up everything back home in my own country, so I could be here. And now I have no way to turn back, so I have to stay here. So everything was all about fighting to be able to stay here. And I did all that, and I succeed. But I lost my happiness. And now getting back and reconnect with the society and then actively doing therapy, counseling, start to remind me why I'm here and what I need to do to achieve the original dream of mine, the purpose. So this year, as I kept telling people I met, I am living the happiest moment of my life. This is the best summer ever.
I love
So
that.
Amazing.
That's amazing. I think therapy has helped a lot. Like I started this year thinking like, am I okay? I think I'm okay. Like let's just try it. But then they point us out to things that have just opened my eyes and perspective, because we've been a certain way for such a long time, taking the mentality of being a kid. For me, it's like just trying to do everything. I don't want to burden everyone. I want to just take everything on myself. I'm an only child. So therapy has taught me to like unlearn some of these things. What I want to ask you is, now that you're in a society where it generally accepts LGBTQ folks, how do you unlearn ways to like unhide yourself? Because for me, if I'm in a queer space, right, I can kind of feel myself like hiding a little bit internally, because I guess I'm not used to being around these many like queer friends, gay friends. So like, how do you live your most authentic self, and how do you unhide yourself in a society that
forces you. Yeah.
Well, it kind of has something to do with my personality. Like Vince said, I might not be the most depressing person, but also I sometimes can be pretty annoying when it comes to like being when it comes to being jumpy, being talky. It's so funny though, because when I was in university, I was the biggest weirdo in my class. I was
still are. Nothing's changed.
Weirdo as a comment from you to me, that's so gentle.
Guys, stay weird. Stay weird.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. So I was always in my own zone. I did not feel comfortable to talk to my classmates, and I did not feel like to share too much about my feelings, my opinions with other people. But the 5 years of tourism industry working experience really changed almost my entire personality, because you have to be willing to do communication proactively. You have to be always on the go. You have to be so open to talk to people, and you should be able to hold a conversation with people from any background, because otherwise they're going to get bored, and if they get bored, they feel that you are cold, then they're going to go back and complain about you to the travel agency. So I kind of forced myself to change my entire personality. Because of this, and my willingness of finding my own folks, my own friends, the people that I'm comfortable be around. As soon as I found them, as soon as I feel a good vibe from this person, I just immediately just like never ever crossed my mind that I need to hide anything about myself.
Yeah.
I always like whenever topics come to about like dating, like about partnership, immediately they're gonna find out that I'm gay.
I think like you also mentioned a lot of our like mutual friends, and the fact that you kind of have like rely on like us essentially to kind of just keep going. But I feel like, you know, last week we discussed the importance of like community and like briefly touch on chosen family. With yourself, do you think like you found that in Vancouver? Like,
I can't imagine. Can't imagine if I say I didn't, how you gonna let me go today? I can't imagine if I say I didn't. I did not find the best gay sister ever. Then tomorrow, he's just gonna like be after my ass the whole day.
Yeah,
we are hiking. Yeah,
we're gonna be after ass.
He's gonna be like, why did you say that yesterday? How dare you? So, no, I found my chosen family here. It's the best. I could not ask anything more. And Vince is like literally my first and the best gay friend so far in my life.
That's so sweet.
Stop.
Yeah.
Now you have an LA sister too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, when we're both allowed to travel again. Well, for me, we can all go to LA.
Definitely. Yeah. I cannot thank Natalie enough.
Yeah.
And you know that I always say I hope she will be watching this.
She has to now.
She has to. She has to. But I came to Vancouver in 2016. I loved it. So, and my best friend is here. We've been friends ever since. They are my chosen family. We support each other every day, and it just totally changed my life. How happy I am right now, I can't even imagine. I made more friends in the like past 1 year or so, more than the previous 5 years.
That's amazing. That's what happens when you live like authentically for yourself.
So yeah, to whoever is still struggling out there, I just hope that like people can still have the faith to know that it's just a stage.
100%, yeah.
Like be positive as much as you could, and continue to fight every day to live for the best of your life. Never forget your purpose, and then believe that one day everything will be better, because
it has to.
That's what it has to, and that's what I experienced, and I hope everyone to have the best moment of their life come sooner.
Wow, you're so inspiring, Will.
Yeah.
I would love to just, I guess, come back to, I know you had discussed you only talked to your father like one time about homosexuality. Did you have the same sort of conversation with your mum, or is that like, what was your coming out like with your family?
Almost sooner as I realized that I like guys. I had a kiss. I shared my first kiss with a boy who I actually had a crush on almost my entire high school, 3 years. And that's how I discovered my sexuality. And I struggled a little bit. And luckily, I had some friends back in China, like not even real life friends, internet friends. Me and my best friend met through Roger Federer tennis fan club. Yes.
What?
Yeah, I was a huge Roger Federer fan since 2008. But before I met Natalie, I never played tennis. But now I do play tennis actively. So I met my best friend also through the Roger Federer tennis fan club, and I met some other girls. And then when I first discovered about my sexuality, I was so confused, so struggled. But those girls from bigger cities in China, they helped me. Like when I called them, told them about my confusion, they were the first group of people to tell me that nothing's wrong with you. You
Oh.
just found out. You just found out that you are homosexual.
Yeah.
Wow.
You just found out that you are gay.
Through
Yeah, I can't
through
imagine.
the Roger Federer fan club. Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's so funny.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so
Mostly
funny.
girls.
We have
Yeah.
like parallels. Like mine was Britney Spears fan
Oh.
club.
Oh,
But then I found my community through there too.
Oh, that's
well, that's
right.
great. Yeah, that's
The
great.
Britney and Roger Federer fan club.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, I met some of them in real life, or we've become lifetime friends. And then when they helped me to get through the confusing stage of about my sexuality, sooner I came out to my own sister, my older sister, 2 years older. I don't think she took me serious. I think she probably thought like you're just confused, or like you probably have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like keep eating.
Yeah, but like she also kind of told me like, oh, you're my only brother, so of course I'm gonna love you regardless or whatever, right? But only one time discussion, and then we never talked about it anymore until probably like 1 or 2 years later. There was one weekend I was in my own bedroom sleeping 10 a.m. I was still in the bed. As usual, the depressing mood just kicked in, and my mom came into my room, and he just opened the window, let the fresh air come in, and she just looked at me and said, "Why do I feel that my son is always sad? Why don't you go out and play with other friends? Like you never social and go out and make new friends, like regular boy at your age." I look at my mom, and I don't know why I decided to do that at that moment, and I would not recommend any people to do that if they were in my situation at the age of 19, before you were financially independent. I would not recommend. But I said to my mom, saying, "Mom, because I'm different." And then my mom looked at me saying, "How?" I said, "Because I don't like girls." My mom was so shocked, and then she immediately said to me, "Is there any medical reason? Because we can help you to find a doctor." I was like, "No, Mom, I like boys."
Let me get some pills.
I'm like, "Mom, no, Mom, I like boys." She was so shocked. She couldn't believe it. She looked at me and say, "You need to stop going to school. You need to stay home. We are gonna cure you. We're gonna find doctors and make sure you get back to normal." I just look at my mom and say, "Mom, I have a lot of movies that I can show to you about the kind of story of the parents trying to force their kids to change, about who they like, about the sexuality, and most of them end up with the kid committing suicide. If that's what you want to see, I can definitely watch one of those movies with you." My mom got out of my room, and we never talked about it until a few days later. She came back to my room, and she was crying, and she was telling me that, "I feel so sorry for you, because I believe that the reason you had to seek love from another man is because your own father never gave you enough love when you were growing up." I do not agree. I think I was born this way, but from my mom's perspective, she'd rather blame somebody, even including herself, so to explain that why I had to live in a life like this. Also, as a person growing up in a very conservative small town, she knew what I have to face in the future. Life is going to be very difficult for me. So she cried and she felt sorry for me. She apologized to me. Why I told her that, no, Mom, I'm just born this way. I'm just born this way, and I will be fine.
Mm-hmm.
She kind accepted it. For a few years, we just could not talk about it. Until a few years later, we had another conversation one day, and she found out what I went through in my childhood, and she finally accepted, more than accepted. She finally started to support me for who I am, because she could never stop loving me because I'm her own child.
Yeah. I think your mom's reaction, like my mom too, I think we have to give them time to come around. I think it's just they love us so much that they know we're gonna be much at a disadvantage to everyone else, you know?
Yeah.
And so it comes from a place of love, even if it feels like they're not accepting right away. And I think with other family members too, like they take time, and I'm glad things are okay between you and your mom now.
Yeah. It took a long time, and but just like how much I loved her, I totally believe she loved me so much that she can never stop loving me just because of who I really am, right? So now we are perfectly fine. We would have phone calls, and sometimes she would ask me, "Have you been going out dating?" So
Tell her.
yeah, that's the best kind of that's the best status we could ask. Yeah. And she told me, I asked her when I was back in my country last year, when I went back last year, I asked her, if one day I get married in a foreign country, would you be willing to attend my wedding? She said, of course, absolutely.
Aww, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. I know that it's not, we all have varying coming out stories, and they're not all the most prettiest. And I think it's important to have these versions as well, because the stark reality is we all had this 50% chance it's going to go really well and 50% chance it's not going to go well, and I'm going to get X, Y, and Z. And I just want to commend you for your bravery again, and just your honesty.
I think now coming out, the struggle is the dating side of things. That's the hard part where you have no control over.
I know. Oh my god.
Well, it's like I told Vince this this year earlier, you just gotta have zero expectations, You have zero expectations. Like, you ask yourself every single time that, would I rather stay home watching TV tonight, or would I rather go with this person on a Friday night to enjoy a nice meal there, even though there might be a chance that the date would go horrible, the conversation would be so dry, the person would have such a bad personality. But would you rather? Which one would you prefer?
Said no.
Stay home.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. If you are so scared of the situation gets so bad in the restaurant that you can't even enjoy the food, then stay home. But if today you feel like taking a little bit risk, today you feel like, oh, I'm so done with staying home by myself. So just take a bit of adventure, go out there, at least enjoy the food.
Sure.
Listen to yourself.
Listen to yourself, enjoy the food, have zero expectation from that other person, because that's the only thing you cannot control. You can control what you're going to order to your table.
Oh, I love that. I'm supposed to go on a date right after this, but it got cancelled, so I'm going to go out by myself.
Do it. Bring a book.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, wait, Will, do you feel... I mean, I feel like I struggle with this a lot. Like, when I'm meeting someone that isn't Asian, right? When I'm dating someone that isn't Asian, do you ever feel like you're fetishized? Because I always question, do they like me for me, or do they like me because I'm Asian?
No, it never bothers me. It never bothers me. I know like this whole preference thing, like the words that used for like is such a a lot of people are against it as like it was an umbrella for racism, But for me, I do sincerely believe that some people they are really attracted to a type of guys, certain race, certain color scheme, certain background, certain way of how they look, that kind of thing. I do believe that exists and it should not be criticized as bad.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
to myself, I have a very wide range of taste in when it comes to. Now look at Vince. He's looking at me like I'm a slut.
No, that's what I'm implying. I'm just saying you're in your brown phase at the moment.
Oh,
It's great.
I think preference is okay, guys, but
Yeah,
I think it's when you're blatantly saying on your Grindr profile,
yeah,
no blacks,
like,
no femmes, no Asian. Like that is like fuck
That's-
off. Like go
yeah.
away. That
So-
is purely discrimination.
Are we talking about is not okay to say no blacks, no Asian, no browns, but it's okay to say white plus plus plus?
No, absolutely not. You can't say that. You cannot say that.
Okay.
I don't think, in my opinion, that's my you do or you don't. I don't. Yeah, that's my thing. I think you can say like, sorry, I'm not your type or whatever it is, and move on. You don't have to use a physical trait to like put them down, because that's putting someone down. I don't know. That's just my.
All right.
That's my take.
That's another episode in itself.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah.
Gay
I look
dating
forward.
with Will.
Yeah.
I look forward to hearing you to discuss about this topic.
Sure.
I would never feel something like would bother me if I found out later that all the guys they've been in a relationship with, all the guys they dated, they were all Asians. It would not bother
That doesn't
me.
bother you? Oh.
Yeah, no, not at all. As long for me, I care about
Sincerity.
attitude. Yeah, sincerity that they have like as long as every single time they approach somebody or they go on dates with somebody, they had the sincere attitude of I want to date this person for a long-term relationship with a serious attitude toward to build something more meaningful, have a meaningful connection instead of like I'm constantly jumping between beds, the different Asian guys' beds, just because I want to sleep with only Asian guys,
I need to work through that. It's because like there's been guys that just like go on about their Korean ex-boyfriend or their Chinese ex-boyfriend. I'm just like, can you not? Like I am here present.
Yeah.
Look at me. Like I'm
not
here.
part of the list.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not just let's get into rapid fire questions. Okay, so Will, are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
The first one is your go-to comfort film.
My go-to comfort film.
Don't say porn.
I really like the two films. They're same kind of story style. One is Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
And
Classic.
another one is 51st Date.
Oh,
51st
nice.
Kiss.
Oh, with Drew Barrymore
and Adam Sandler.
and
Oh, I
Adam.
didn't know that. Okay.
Whoa, cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Favorite dish from your hometown?
Favorite dish from my hometown?
Yeah.
Is my father's own cooking of a beer duck.
Ooh.
Beer duck.
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah. So you need to use
get the duck drunk. Drink up.
No, you use the instant pot to cook the duck first to make the meat like chewy, tender, whatever, and then you fry the duck again, and before you and the last process is to you pour an entire can of beer and then let the duck be boiled in beer.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's so delicious. Yeah.
Yum. One word how you think other people would describe you.
Bitch.
Give up.
Hockey. Yeah.
Talky. Okay.
Yeah, I'm very talky, very, very expressive.
Expressive is a good word.
It
Yeah.
One thing you would tell your inner child.
You did a great job. You did a great job. From where you came from, you reached to a point that you never thought you could. So, yeah, good job.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, so beautiful. Thank you all for sharing.
Thank you.
Let's get into you do or you don't. Oh, that's so fun. I love this segment so much.
All right.
So, Will Chen, what is your you do or you don't?
You do or you don't continue to develop a connection with somebody who rejected you.
Oh.
I mean, you don't.
I mean, you did that this week.
Yes, I literally did that this week. So I want to hear your attitude towards it.
I mean, you don't. I'm like, I cannot. Like, if there's nothing here, unless like we become really good friends, then sure.
No. So what I meant to say is you got rejected.
Oh, I got
that
rejected.
person. Yeah,
That
you
doesn't
got
never
rejected
happen.
by
Okay.
that person.
No one has ever rejected Vince ever.
Oh no, then I'm still you don't. I can't do it. My ego would dip and die.
It's a you do for me. I think it makes me want them more.
Oh my God. Therapy sessions. Okay, therapy session is needed. I'm not saying you're not supposed to choose you do, but I'm just saying like the reason you are choosing you do, you need therapy sessions.
I do.
therapy.
Yeah. What about you, Will?
I've always been I can't. I've always been I don't. And starting this summer, I actually decided to be I do. I will try.
I think just from knowing you on this pod today, like you just exude so much of this. Like you're such a rock to so many people, I feel. Like you are a friend that people can lean on, and it comes from all of your, maybe not so great experiences, but also your great experiences since moving. And I do want to say like thank you so much for being on, and you're so brave, and I hope people love this episode. I hope everyone can sort of use this as a source of inspiration. So thank you, Will, for being on today.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
I have no other words, but I'm more just like I appreciate the friendship that we that we have and are continually building, and I'm getting to know more of you as obviously we keep hanging out, and I'm more just like thank you for welcoming me into your life and actually just like honestly like letting me in into the world that is Will, that I'm like sporadically world of Will.
Audience, believe or not, this is the most beautiful thing this speech has ever said to me.
Yeah, this is the last
and also probably going to be the last time. So I am very touched, and I'm very grateful that we can have this video on internet as a permanent proof that he actually loves me.
Yes.
Oh my God. And with that, I think again, thanks everyone for continuously like supporting us, and I really hope that like we're adding value to your lives. And if you also have any you do or you don't questions, just send them our way.
youdoopod@gmail.com.
There it is. And follow us on Instagram.
Please
and every
follow,
other
like,
platform.
and subscribe. Yeah.
Please follow and like, subscribe, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Will. Bye.
All right. Bye.